Right, today's Friday the 5th of April 2013. The new boiler was fitted on the, well, it was signed off with a CP12 on the 5th of November, which was a Friday I think, very late, about 6 o'clock in the evening. The geezer just said sign this and ran off. We spent several months without no heating. We've now got some heating. This is one of the rooms where we get no heating at all. It's at the back of a property. There's a great big wall behind us. We get no natural warmth. This bathroom gets literally ice cold. The Shepherd's Bush answer was to give us 2 kilowatt convection floor heaters to help us keep warm while the heating situation doesn't work. Well, this wet room was already in place, so they know it's at the back of a building, they know it's going to get cold, they know it's a wet room, they know that I've got a neurological condition affected by cold, so I have no choice. I don't shower now because I know how scary it is to have electric in here, so I don't shower unless I have to. And today's one of them days I've got to see a dentist, and of course you get quite intimate with them, and I don't want to stink for him, to be honest. It's been going on, I mean the heating problem started badly in September. The boiler's been bad for years. For 10 years we've had next to no heating out of most of our radiators. Whenever we reported it as a repair, they'd say, oh, it's just your radiators need bleeding. Then we'd say, well, they're disabled radiators. And after much of a row, normally quoting us 10 to 16 days when the handbook says for disabled people, it's 4 hours. And of course, when you're mobility impaired, you get cold quite easy. But yeah, for 10 years they were telling us things like the thermostatic radiator valves, which is them things there, were knackered, and they'd take them off and they'd hit them with a hammer or bang them on the floor, spray a bit of WD-40 or something in them and put them back on. Say, oh, they're knackered, but they should last you another year, you'll be alright. People used to blame the radiators. We've since found out that 3 of the radiators were wired, plumbed in incorrectly, which meant nothing could get through anyway, which is why we had 10 years of cold. And since they put the new boiler in, of course it's obviously got worse, because the boiler that they put in is causing no flow, whatever that is. Now, I have my suspicions what no flow means, but I don't know anything. But yeah, it's a bit scary, isn't it? The convection heater that's on 2 kilowatt floor, on the floor convection heater in a disabled person's wet room. And yet this is a housing association that fully supports, helps and develops and puts very much social care into looking after vulnerable tenants. This is, funnily enough, the 2nd year on the trot that as vulnerable tenants they go round and check that they're okay for gas and electric to get through the cold weather. They do it with all their vulnerable tenants. I'm on paper one of their most vulnerable tenants. 2 years on the trot now, they've missed me out. I don't know why they do that. I'm on the SA support group, which is the highest, and I'm on it for 3 years, which most people only get a year. I'm on higher rate mobility and higher rate care. As far as working age benefits go, that's it. You're about as crippled as you're going to get. If that don't come in as vulnerable, I don't know where they're coming from. My next door neighbour was also very ill. He got no contact. He was an old age pensioner in his 70s. very lovely man. They didn't try and make any contact with him at all, even though I warned our neighbourhood officer that he wasn't doing very well. But still, I suppose you can put one thing on a website and do something else.